Hey, GLP-1 plus size community. Before we jump into the podcast, please take the time to leave us a 5-star review on whatever audio platform you're listening to the podcast on. Share your story and how the podcast has helped you. This will help us get referred up in the audio platform so that we can reach more people that need our help, our support, and guidance from our doctors. Help us get loud and change things. Are you interested in understanding GLP-1 medications like Ozempic, wegovy, or Mounjaro? Then join us on the Plus Sides Cracking the Obesity Code, the groundbreaking podcast helping people change their lives one episode at a time. The Plus Sides podcast is a disruptor. We're breaking down barriers, smashing stereotypes, and sharing inspiring stories that'll leave you feeling informed and empowered. Join us every week to learn from doctors who are specialists around GLP-1 medications like Ozempic, wegovy, and Mounjaro. They'll provide you with science and facts to validate these incredible stories. But that's not all. We'll also bring you the voices of the GLP-1 Mounjaro TikTok community, real people who face the challenges of obesity-related diseases and disorders and discovered the incredible plus sides of GLP-1 medications. Our episodes are filled with heartwarming stories, laughter, and moments of triumph. You'll connect with our amazing community members who are reclaiming their health and experiencing their fullest lives. Are you ready to embark on a journey of discovery and empowerment? Tune in to the Plus Sides Cracking the Obesity Code, and together we'll change the narrative around obesity and end the stigma. Subscribe now on YouTube or your favorite podcast platform and join our incredible community. Let's celebrate the plus sides of life together, because every story deserves to be heard. Every life deserves to shine, and everyone deserves access to expert knowledge and medication. The Plus Sides Podcast. You're not alone. It's not your fault. Hey everyone, before we dive in, I really want to share something personal with you. About, I want to say like 8 to 10 months ago, after losing 100 pounds on GLP-1s and keeping it off for a long time, I started regaining out of nowhere, and I was terrified. But I also started having hot flashes and bouts of crying and snacky cravings and waking up at 3 a.m. unable to go back to sleep. It turns out I was in perimenopause. So I started hormone replacement therapy, which is also called HRT, through a telehealth called Winona that specializes in this. And it changed everything. And now I'm sleeping better. And my hot flashes are all but gone, thank God. And I feel like myself again. And it turns out that you can actually start perimenopause as early as 35. And well, I'm 46 and she's here. HRT has really come a long way, and there's just no need to suffer anymore. So if you're like this and you're in the same boat, you can check out buywinona.com and you can use the link in our link tree to save some money.
Want the fastest working GLP-1? For half the price, Ro now offers FDA-approved weight loss injections cheaper, with results you can see faster. Lose 15% of your weight with the formula from Eli Lilly that hits not one, but 2 hormones to curb hunger and nausea. Weight loss faster, confidence higher, price cheaper. See if you qualify at ro.co/TV.
It really is. There's so much shame and blame and the way that we treat people about this, right? So I can see why when you were saying, hey, like, I'm a doctor, I want you to lose weight. Of course. Why would a doctor not want you to lose weight, right? Of course you do, especially I think when you're an endocrinologist and you know about how like literally as fat as an organ, like when it gets big, right? And what it can do to your body. And you know that it wreaks havoc. And so we do too. We just couldn't fix it no matter what, you know? So I think it's interesting to be able to really understand for everyone that's going through this journey, why these work and how these work and how this has always been about health and it's not about weight. You know,
but, I mean, I have to say that, you know, we've been telling people for a long time to lose weight, and we did not have the proper tools to help them.
Yeah.
And I think it became kind of antagonistic. You knew. Yeah. We knew. We wanted to help you. We had no good way to help you. So this is the best we can do.
Yeah, for sure.
But I can understand. But I want people to understand that when we tell you to lose weight and we want to try to help you lose weight, it's not for most people. Now, of course, there are some people. There are some doctors who are assholes too. But for the most part, it's not that we don't value you as a human being, right? It's not that we're thinking less. Now, I know there's a lot of weight bias out there, but when we are trying to educate people about lifestyle modification.
Yeah.
It is because that is the tool. That's part of the tools that we still have, and and for a long time, that's the only tool that we had.
For sure.
And it's not that we did not value you as a human being. And I say this because, again, when people are looking at their size, yes, you want you to be a smaller size than you were, right?
Yeah.
But it's not. But it's for health reasons. It's not because your value will be better as a human being when you're smaller.
Yeah.
Because you're right. There's a lot of psychology there.
Yeah.
And I also don't want people to think that if they don't get to this hypothetical perfect weight that they want to be at, that they have not reached the value that they should have. Because you just want to be a healthier, like I said, a healthier you.
Yes.
Right?
You want
to be able to go through life without having to take meds for diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, heart disease. You want to be able to see the grandkids and great grandkids and all that.
Yeah.
And you want to be able to sit down. I'm at that age. That's where I'm thinking grandkids. You want to be able to sit down with the grandbabies and play on the floor and be able to get up by yourself.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that is what it's about, right? It is about living, and I think, and I think it is hard being at this stage of what I think Kat and I and many people consider a movement, right? Around being able to treat this disease like it is, like any other disease, and quit making people feel like they are less than, which is very, very common. Honestly, it really is. It's funny. Like, I think too, when people, I would hear people talk in our community that ended up being in smaller sizes that were like mid-size or small or whatever it was, like, to me, what I would perceive as thin, how different people treated them, and and I think it's interesting. I have experienced that also, even though I was saying I'm in a big body. I think people just feel, I don't know, less awkward or something. I don't know. Or if it's just that it's easier to ignore someone in a large body because maybe it makes you feel uncomfortable. I don't know. I think there's a lot. We definitely need to have someone on the show to talk about that because I have seen it. I haven't seen it to the extent that some of these other people have seen it, because you've seen some people like in our community, they were in large bodies and it's an obese body and they lost weight and they're in like maybe a size 6, or something like that, or a size 8, something like that, maybe even a 10, and they're influencers. They are beauty influencers now, and even they'll say, and thank goodness they still talk about it, but they will say, yeah, like, people treat me totally different. And it makes me mad. They say, like, a lot of times they're like, it makes me angry that people treat me different. I'm the same person I always was. Right. But it's true. It's how it is, which is, I don't know. I think that's something like we'll continue to explore on the show as to kind of like what that is and why that is, because for sure it's not unique, right, to these medications. It's, I think, anytime people go from being in a larger body to something that's considered more aesthetically pleasing because of society, people tend to respond differently,
Interesting. Yeah.
What goofers we are. Kat, I keep interrupting your question because I'm tired.
Well, it's linked. It's linked. It connects right through, Can you explain BMI? And then we have this new concept coming up, Body Roundness Index.
Yes. I wish it had a different name.
Yeah.
I know, right? Yeah.
It's so unappealing to me.
It makes me think of Pooh Bear. I'm just a little black rain cloud.
So the body mass index is a ratio of one's height and weight.
Right. Yep.
So, and we have used that for decades to kind of approximate adiposity because it's been the best tool that we've had. So we take someone's height, we take someone's weight, and square of something over something, and get the BMI, right? The body roundness index is a ratio of one's height and either waist or hip circumference, because you can have two people, same height, same weight, different body composition. Right? You can have someone who's more muscular. You can have someone with more adiposity. You can have someone with more adiposity in their thighs or someone with more adiposity in their abdomen. And we know that it's that intra-abdominal fat that is metabolically bad. Right? So if all your weight is in your booty, you might not like how you look, but it doesn't impact insulin resistance as much as intra-abdominal fat. So the Body Roundness Index is the waist circumference. And I don't know the formula off the top of my head because there's a square root in there and there's pi. But you could go online and Google Body Roundness Index calculator. So I played with that.
Wow.
I played with that with my height and weight and waist circumference. So the closer your Body Roundness Index is to 0, the healthier it is. And the higher it is, the less healthy it is. So I calculated my BRI, and then I played with the numbers. I said, well, what if I were 60 pounds heavier, same waist circumference? I don't know where that weight would be with the 60 extra pounds on me that's not my waist, but the BRI stayed the same. It did not go up. Okay. Then I kept the weight the same, but increased the waist circumference, and it made the BRI worse. So the bigger your middle is, the higher your BRI will be, and that correlates with more adiposity, more central adiposity.
Yeah, that kind of sucks a little bit because, you get to that certain age, Miss perimenopause, menopause. You know how your waist just starts to get a little thicker.
Yeah, a little bit.
Get more boxy. Yeah. I haven't seen that in CAD, but I hear that's a thing. I'm looking so forward to it. I turned 45 this month, and I'm like, yeah.
Oh, everything moves. Yeah, if you everything moves on my body, like with measurement wise, but I can't get that dang waist. I think I maybe went down like 2 inches, and that was it. It's very hard.
The waist is hard.
All of us women right here on this panel right now, yeah, it's difficult.
Yeah,
it's the hardest thing to get rid of. I mean, because I haven't had the classic definition of obesity, but because I'm Asian, I'm sure that I've crossed the Asian line. So like most people, I've gone up and down, and I lose it here, and I lose it in my boobs.
Dang.
I know that's TMI, but those are 2 places I lose it. But that belly,
yeah.
I mean, technically, I am now at a healthy weight for my height, but that belly does not want to go away. I don't think it's ever going to go away. But I'm going to try to keep it as small as I can.
Yeah. And if you think about it, if we think about we want to keep the belly as small as we can because we want to keep that organ in check, right? I mean, that's what it comes down to, right? Is that we're just trying to take care of our parts. You know what I mean? If we're always wanting to be in have a flat stomach, I just don't think that's realistic. I don't think most people have flat stomachs. I would say most people that I see, Kat is one of the most fit people I know, and her stomach's not flat. And most people over the age of 40, their stomachs aren't flat. Of course, there are the exceptions to the rule, but most people that I know, that's just not what life looks like.
No.
But it is what we're all striving for, which is bizarre.
Especially if you've had kids, because the abdominal muscles got stretched out and separated, and they just they don't go back to the way they once were.
Nothing springs back. It's not like dated savings time. Spring forward, fall back. No.
Maybe.
You always laugh at my dumb jokes when I'm tired.
Glorious. Spring forward. So since we're talking about endocrinology, obviously, duh. When it comes to menopause and perimenopause that we've been talking about all night, is the timing of getting seen by an endocrinologist pretty crucial? Or let's rephrase it to, is it very important to start to add endocrinology to your roster of doctors?
Here's the problem.
Okay.
There's not enough of us. I mean, there's only 8,000 or so endocrinologists in the country, not all of whom are in clinical practice. But even if we were 8,000 versus 150 million women, there's just not enough of us to go around, unfortunately. Right. And really, it it should fall into the hand, in my opinion, it should fall into the hands of the gynecologist.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Because hopefully every woman is seeing a gynecologist to see you're up to date, right? You're both good. Okay. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So my only problem with, at least in the area where I am, is somehow gynecologists don't want to treat menopause.
Yeah.
I've had
Or
patients
obesity, by the way.
that
I don't know. They're getting there. I feel like I
Or
found it.
PCOS. Sorry.
I mean, I have patients that I see for other reasons,
Yeah.
but they tell me about their various symptoms, and I say, "Well, did you talk to your gynecologist about hormone replacement therapy?" And they're like, "That they don't do menopause." What do you mean they don't do menopause?
Yeah.
They're women's health physicians. I don't understand how they're not doing that. It baffles me.
Yeah.
Especially since, if you're on hormone replacement therapy, you want to make sure you're up to date with your gynecologic exam and your mammograms and all that. I don't do those.
Yeah. I know.
But anyway,
It's
so
a
so I didn't
problem.
answer your question. So I mean, I think it has to go back to the gynecologist and the primary care doctor,
Okay.
because
Yeah.
there's not enough of us around. I mean, like I said, I do help some of my patients manage it if I'm seeing them for other things,
Right.
and they have these complaints and nobody else is helping them, then I'll step in. But I don't want to be the one to do it.
Okay. So there's a little extra part of the question, if I could ask you. It's about heart disease and menopause.
Quick pause here. I've had moments on my GLP-1 journey where insurance changes or rising costs force me to look for a new provider. And honestly, that process can feel very overwhelming. But that's why the Plus Size Podcast is partnered with GLP Winner to give our subscribers a resource to help them make that decision easier. GLP Winner is a comparison platform that lets you explore telehealth providers in all 50 states, whether you're looking for brand name medications or compounded options. You can see pricing up front, read reviews, and get a clear picture of which provider might align best with your needs. Check it out today at glpwinner.com/plus-sides. That's glpwinner.com/plus-sides. Don't forget the Z. Let me tell you a quick story. I was telling Kat how I was regaining weight after my 100-pound loss using GLP-1 medications, and I was having snacky cravings and waking up at 3 a.m., and I had hot flashes, and I was worried. But Kat was like, listen, I went through this last year. It's perimenopause, and I started HRT, and she used this company called Winona. So I started going there to see if this was something that was going with me. Turns out it was, because I'm 46, and it's been amazing. It's taken a while to find the right dose, but once I did, it's just been huge. I've been sleeping. I feel more myself again, and the hot flashes are gone, which is, really bad. So I will tell you, it's just been so big for me. And so I wanted to partner with them on the podcast because obviously many of our listeners are going through this same age range and definitely are having these issues. And there's just no need for you to suffer. So if you go to the link that's in our link tree, you can click on that and save money. If you go there and you meet all the criteria, and this might be something for you to try. So I just want to make sure you had this great resource because it's just been such a big difference for me and Kat. Again, you can go to the link in our link tree and get what you need.
"20 seconds a week to lose 20% of your weight in a year with diet and exercise. That's the power of GLP-1s through Ro. Ro helps find the medication that's right for you, based on cost, availability, and your weight loss goals. Losing weight with GLP-1s is possible through Ro.
So estrogen appears to be cardioprotective until a woman is well past stopping making her own estrogen.
Okay.
So I'll have to say hormone replacement therapy got a bad rap in the late 90s, early 2000s because of the Women's Health Initiative. Because the Women's Health Initiative was this big epidemiologic study looking at women, and they said, the press ran with the statement that hormone replacement therapy increased the risk of heart disease. That we were wrong all this time about estrogen being cardioprotective, and that women shouldn't be on hormone replacement therapy because it increased the risk of heart disease. The problem is when they did the study, they intentionally chose women who were no longer having symptoms of menopause, right? Because they didn't want, because it was double blinded, right? So they were going to give half the people estrogen and the other half they weren't going to give it. If you had hot flashes and suddenly they went away, then you would know that you got estrogen, right? So they said we don't want women who actively have vasomotor symptoms. That way they don't know if they got placebo or not. So these were women who were older. Right? If you break down, so on average they were older. They were in their mid 60s, all right, on average. If you break it down into you broke it down to the women in their 50s versus the women in their 60s versus the women in their 70s. Yes, the women in their 70s who got hormone replacement therapy had worse cardiac outcomes, but they were 20 years past menopause already.
Yeah.
The women who were still in their 50s actually had less cardiac events, because if you continue with estrogen, then you still protect, and you don't build up the plaque, right?
Okay.
Once you've got the plaque, right? So it seems to be anti-inflammatory initially on the blood vessels. Once you form the atherosclerosis and then you give someone estrogen, then their risk of cardiac events is higher. So you don't want to start someone in estrogen who's 70. But if you're in your 40s, 50s, and you're having hot flashes, because there's data that women with worse vasomotor symptoms, the hot flashes and things like that, are ones at higher risk of developing cardiovascular disease. So if you are in that perimenopausal period, there's nothing better than estrogen to treat those. There's none of the over-the-counter things, none of the herbal supplements, nothing helps lack of estrogen than estrogen.
So can you treat with estrogen when you're in perimenopause, or do they want you to be in menopause before they start doing any kind of replacement?
No, if you are exhibiting the typical perimenopausal symptoms, then you can start hormone replacement therapy. You don't have to stop. You don't have to stop getting your periods to start.
Okay.
Interesting.
Something you could ask your gynecologist about. I didn't. Yeah.
Or endocrinologist.
Oh, and if you're in my office,
said they're overworked right now.
I will tell you, as someone who has gone through it, it's like, oh my God, it felt so much better. I mean, it was like a switch got turned. I'm like,
I know that feeling.
Yeah.
Like the hot flashes went away, the more than usual crankiness, and I'm just back to my usual cranky. The more than usual crankiness went away. I could actually get some sleep. It was, I became, it became tolerable. I became more tolerable when I started it. And then, so I said it, so I use this story too, when patients are kind of hesitant to start. I'm like, okay, worst case scenario, you don't like it, then you stop. But I said, I will bet you if you take it, you will feel 100 times better.
I love
My
that.
sister swears by it. She has to have her patch.
Her patch? Oh, it's a patch. That's nice.
Yeah, her estrogen is on a patch. Yeah.
Girl, it's time. Maybe you won't need the menopause fan anymore. We record, and Kat's like, hold on, can you hear my menopause fan? And she'll like move it around like.
But I've always been hot natured. I don't know if I even, because I'd break out in a sweat walking to school when I was like 11 or 12. Like I don't think, maybe, I don't know. I have no idea. Once in a while I'm sitting at my desk.
2 a.m. Are you doing the 2 a.m. waking up in the middle of the night, tearing the sheets off?
I used to wake up hot still. I mean, it's just always been it's been my life. Maybe.
Oh, you've always been.
I've always been so hot natured. What was it? Getting ready to go out on Saturday. I was telling my husband, why am I sweating going up and down the stairs, putting on my clothes? I'm sweating. I've always been like that.
Yeah.
And so you don't think
I was always like that too, but I thought it was because I was fat.
I always thought it was because I was heavier.
Yeah.
But then again, like when I was 12, I was like maybe.
But since GLP-1s, I'm not. If anything, I'm a little cold natured.
I'm still kind of hot natured.
It's weird, right?
Just weird.
It's weird how much the hormones can change. Speaking of,
Mhm.
a couple things. I have two final questions. One, I would love to discuss a hot topic, which is, do you have to take Ozempic forever? And I would also love, because one of my favorite things, and this is how I found you originally, is you'll make these funny videos about prior authorizations. And
They're amazing. People go look for them.
yes, and they're so funny. So definitely look up on TikTok. I'll put the link in the show notes. But anything that
Like
you've
and
seen
follow.
that's new, right? Like, what are some new bullshittery that they're making you jump through? Any hoops that we know around, like getting GLPs approved for diabetes or for obesity? And then I know there's been some changes with Medicare that you were posting about recently, which many people that follow our podcast, or have to deal with, and for lots of different medications, right? Anything with that? Like, you have anything you want to talk about that? So let's start with one, all the bullshittery, and then two, do you have to take Ozempic forever?
Okay. So you want me to do the bullshittery first?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. So prior authorizations for nearly every brand name medication now needs prior authorization by at least some of the insurance companies. Right? Some insurance companies, some plans, I'll say, because within one insurance company, you have 500 different plans. So some plans are better than others as far as coverage is concerned. Many of them just make you do the prior authorization as a routine and then will cover it. Some of them will deny everything humanly possible, and you have to do appeals and peer-to-peer and so on. I will say, for when a medication is approved for, I'm just going to say diabetes, because that's the most common thing I have to deal with. It is usually fairly easy to get it covered so long as it's for an FDA-approved indication. So, but for anti-obesity treatment, that's a whole other ballgame. So there are some plans still that have a blanket. We do not cover anti-obesity treatment. We do not care how much the patient weighs. We don't care about BMI. We don't care about complications. We cover nothing. And then there are, on the other extreme, there are the ones, so in New Jersey, which is where I am, if you work for the state in any capacity, a prior auth gets it covered. Our state plan is wonderful. If you ever move to New Jersey, you have to work for the state because they cover pretty much everything. You still have to do the prior auth, but they'll pretty much cover everything. But there's the in-between ones where you have to do the prior auth and then the appeal. And for some, you have to get the prior auth. Minimum, I'll say, minimum is every 6 months. I've seen every 3 months, and I have one patient or two where it's monthly. Like every time she needs to refill, it needs a prior authorization.
I got a friend like that. Ridiculous. It's brutal. And then if she can, and then there's the whole like friggin' Easter egg hunt trying to find it.
Oh,
so,
yes, that too.
So go weeks without her medicine. I have to start all over again. It's brutal. It's so stupid.
I have a couple of patients who call me on a monthly basis. Okay, don't send it to this pharmacy. Send it to that pharmacy. Or no, don't send it there. Send it to this one because they're the ones who have it. Mm-hmm. They don't have the 10, so I need the 12.5. They don't have the 12.5. I have to go back to 7.5. Whatever they have in stock. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. Like, it's funny. I make videos about it like pretty often because I know people go through this trash, and I've been going through it since the beginning, because I started all this in the middle of the Ozempic shortage.
Yeah, triple OG.
Yeah. And I tell people all the time, don't ever miss a month. You find what you can find and you fill it. As long as it's within a dose or two, fill it. Because it's going to happen. The shortage is so bad. That's why all this garbage about the shortage being over is such a bunch of trash. Like, still to this day, you know what my biggest hitting videos are is how to find your medicine during a shortage today. And they said the shortage is over.
They said it's over. Yeah, I'll believe
it. Yeah.
Bull crap. Yep.
Yes, it's a bunch of crap.
Liars.
Pants on fire. I know. I can't even with these people.
I can't even.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Next question. Medicare.
Okay. So prior, so this is about the whole telemedicine.
Yeah.
So prior to the COVID-19 pandemic, people could only avail of telemedicine if they lived in a rural area and they did not have doctors available to them for like 3 or 4 hours. And if you were to conduct a telemedicine visit, you needed to be in some sort of medical facility. So you had to be, for example, in your primary care doctor's office, and then you would telemedicine with a specialist 3 hours away. Because of the pandemic, Medicare said, we don't want people wandering around. We don't want people going to their doctor's office sick. We want people to stay home. And so they said, okay, no matter where you lived, you can have telemedicine and you can stay home and do it. Right. So since 2020 until today, people have been allowed to have telemedicine visits, whether they lived in the middle of a farm or they lived, in downtown Brooklyn. Didn't matter. And you could do it from your home, although I've had patients do it from a hotel room in Atlantic City and from their car, wherever. But you could do wherever you had to be. In the beginning, they didn't even really care about what state you were in. But then they kind of made a restriction that you have to be in the state where the doctor has a license. So I have snowbirds who go down to Florida, and I used to be able to do telemedicine with them while they were in Florida. No more. They have to be in New Jersey when they have the telemedicine. But on December 31st, 2024, all of that is supposed to end, and it's supposed to go back to pre-COVID rules, which means that you have to be living in a rural area and you have to be in your doctor's office and if you're going to conduct a telemedicine visit.
Why?
Now, I don't know, because that was the rule, and this was supposed to be just an exception to the rule. And so now the exception is gone. But the thing is, although it really, really mattered during the pandemic when we didn't want people wandering around, we have found that it has been great for seniors who have poor mobility, people who, can't get transportation, the mom whose the babysitter called in sick at the last minute, people who had last minute had a work meeting they had to go to. So by eliminating telemedicine, all these people need to delay their care, because God forbid, if you can't make it, then you have to reschedule. Yeah. Then that could be weeks or months later. And the other thing is, and what I was saying before was, I don't care if it's COVID or the flu or a stomach bug. If you've got something, don't bring it to my office.
Exactly.
Now people will feel compelled to come sick.
No.
Because they don't want to miss their appointment.
Yeah. Because they want to get another one, right? Yeah, absolutely. I'm telling you, every time I go to the doctor's office for anything, I'm like, there's definitely someone sick in here. Like
I feel like that's how I got COVID when my husband got sick. This was in 2021. I was taking him to a bajillion doctor's visits because he had a pituitary tumor. Yeah. And so we had to take him to like 2-3 appointments sometimes a day. Yeah. So I gave it to him.
So I'm asking you and all of your viewers to please contact your representatives, because the only way Medicare will not push through with this is if Congress tells them to not push through with it. Yeah. So I told people, I do not care how happy or unhappy you were with the recent election results.
Absolutely.
Whoever's sitting there now, you need to write them and tell them that we still want telemedicine.
Yeah. I mean, my mom's on Medicare and she is having her she sees Dr. Albert. I'm just saying, I probably shouldn't say that. But I mean, it's telemedicine, right? He's a wonderful doctor. There are, especially when it comes to specialists, like, you know what I'm saying? There aren't enough. So we should be, you guys can see more people, right? If you do it this way as well. Like, I think it's so important. Definitely. So I think so you just need to write your congressman, right? And say that this is congressman. And I mean, even if you're writing on behalf of your parents, right? Like, do it.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I think it's
on behalf of whoever, on behalf of the general public.
Email web form on their websites too, where you can.
If you Google how do I contact my congressman?
Yeah,
that's I found their emails and I emailed them and I said.
Yeah. I mean, and we talk about that we don't get political on the podcast, but Kat and I are very open that we're for the Treat and Reduce Obesity Act and that we're for PBM reform. And that's it. So we only focus on like those particular things, like you being able to get access to care and your medicine. Like we want good things for you. And like, this is another example of something that you can do and have your voice be heard. I will tell you, when we were at the Senate Help Committee, they were actually talking about their people who had emailed them or contacted them and told them their stories about insulin or whatever it was. So they are considered. They are. So it's important to reach out for sure.
Right. I mean, you don't have to be a fan of your representative. Yeah. You're still their constituent.
Yeah.
And, they still want to hear from you in whichever way, whether you are of the same party or not, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If you live in their district, you can still write them. Absolutely.
And you should. I love that.
Yes.
Awesome. Last question. Do you have to take Ozempic forever?
Do you have to take Ozempic forever? So here's what I tell. You know, it's funny because nobody ever. I asked one of my patients because he asked me. I was prescribing for type 2 diabetes, and he said, "Do I have to take it forever?" I said, "You never asked me that question when I prescribed your 3 other drugs.
Yeah.
Why are you asking me this about this particular drug?" And well, I know the answer. It's because nobody thinks of it now as, well, people are just thinking of it as a cosmetic weight loss thing. And that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
People need to think of it as treatment of a chronic disease. And just like your other chronic diseases, the intention is for you to take it for a long time. But forever is longer than a long time. So what I tell patients is if you start it and you hate it for whatever reason, if you have a side effect, then obviously you'll stop. If you develop another medical condition that precludes you from taking it, then you're going to stop. If something better comes along, you're going to stop. If you're taking it for type 2 diabetes and your hemoglobin A1C is fantastic and you want to see how you do with less medication, it's an option. I've stopped other medications before when patients don't need quite as much. If you are taking wegovy for treatment of obesity and you get to a certain weight and you want to see how you do without it, you can't stop. I do warn my patients that statistically, when people stop it, they regain the weight because whatever caused the weight to be there to begin with has not magically gone away, right? We've managed it with medication.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But those abnormalities still exist. So if you take away the treatment, then the symptoms can return. So I just warn people. I said, if you do great without, then you don't have to restart it. I just don't want you to feel like you failed somehow if you have to restart it, because statistically, that's what happens.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody's obliged to do anything they don't want to do.
Right. Yeah.
You understand the consequences.
But that's the narrative, right? Especially anybody that's selling nature's Ozempic right now is, oh no, just take this here supplement. And here's the thing. And I'm just going to go on record as this. I don't give a crap if someone takes a supplement to try to help them lose weight, especially considering the issues with accessibility and affordability of these medications. I mean, like 12% of people there will be able to get them, which is insane, but I will tell you, like, don't let anybody fool you into telling you it is the same thing. It is not the same thing.
No, absolutely not.
Right? Because and correct me if I'm wrong, but GLP-1s, like when you take these medicines, like the half-life is 3 to 5 days or something like that in these medicines. And if you let's just say you eat something natural GLP-1 to raise within your body, it's like minutes, right? It raises it.
So your natural GLP-1. I mean, if we could just make our own GLP-1 work the way these medications work, we wouldn't need these medications, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, even the DPP-4 inhibitor. So GLP-1, as you know, is a hormone made by the intestine. It is broken down by an enzyme called DPP-4, right? And it only lasts for a few minutes. It does its job in the pancreas, it goes away, right? Mm-hmm. Medications like Januvia, the other name is escaping me, Tradjenta and Onglyza, the DPP-4 inhibitors, block the enzyme that breaks down GLP-1. And yet, those medications do not cause weight loss, right? They're not a treatment for obesity because you do not have the capability of making super physiologic amounts of GLP-1, right? So these medications, because technically they're not GLP-1, right? They are substances that happen to work on the same receptors, the same parts of the cell as GLP-1 does, but it's not broken down by DPP-4. It's a different chemical, so it lasts longer, and it works in a way above and beyond what your own natural GLP-1 can do, right? If supplements worked, why wouldn't we tell people to buy the supplement? And I tell patients, when they ask me if they can take a supplement, I say, I can't. I assume it's safe if it's on the market, but I cannot guarantee you that.
Right.
Because what does supplement? There's no good oversight, and they can, as long as they put not meant to treat, diagnose, or cure any disease. They can claim a whole bunch of things. So I assume that it's safe, but I can't guarantee it.
Right.
If it works for you, that's great. I cannot worth the money.
Yeah.
Because there's no data to support it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think that's true. That's what I tell people all the time. Like, listen, if you want to try something, that's fine, but don't let anybody tell you it's the same, because it's just not. No. It's just not. No. But I don't judge anybody for taking supplements. I can't tell you how many times in my life I've tried whatever. I'll take whatever. And I will tell you, like, and we can end because, I'll go off on my soapbox about like peptides and stuff, right? The problem is that if these medicines, if people that are taking the compound versions of the medications, right, because there's a shortage and they're able to, if that goes away, people are going to make really, really stupid decisions. And it's not because they're stupid. It's because they're desperate. Yeah. And they're not desperate because they want to stay skinny. They're desperate because they don't want to be skinny anymore.
Yeah.
And so what they're going to do is they're going to go to places that are not safe, not even close, not even adjacent, right? And overseas and online and get Groupons and stuff to be able to get whatever, and that's why. So I just want people to understand it's not the same. And other people that are selling you this online that are saying it's this, and that, are trying to sell you triple G and whatever. It's a suspect, guys. It's like, don't get me wrong. I'm not any better. If tomorrow I couldn't afford or couldn't access my GLP-1 medications, I'd panic and I would not make great decisions either. So I'm no better. But that's why I think the accessibility of compound is important, because we will have millions of people that do that.
I mean, I don't blame the people. I don't blame the patients. I don't blame the people who are desperate. I am upset at the people taking advantage of the desperation.
Same.
Yeah.
And there's a lot.
There's a lot. There's a lot.
There are a tremendous amount of people that are in our community that are even on them now. Even because the compound version is, $300-$400 a month, they can afford that. It's a car payment, Mm-hmm. So there are, and here's the thing. If people think it's bad now, let compound from 503A and 503B go away. It's going to get a lot worse. And that's just what it's going to be. And like, that's my only concern. I honestly, because I think people deserve care. It's a problem, girl. It's something for Matt Endo to get mad about sometimes. We'll see. This was a lovely conversation. Thank you so much for keeping us in the know. We have so many new people that have come on since we were on Nightline. ABC Nightline, because so like lots of new people who like don't even know you have maybe already seen your episodes yet that you've been on.
Now they know Matt Endo.
Like and follow.
Exactly. Like and follow.
Smash all the buttons. Yes. I'll put all the links in the show notes for everybody, so you can go follow her. Especially when she does her haikus. It's the best.
Haikus and the insurance bullshit.
Insurance bullshittery.
Yes.
No, she says dramatic readings of prior authorizations.
Yes, dramatic readings.
I love it. You definitely want to follow that. I will put it in the show notes. Thank you so much for joining us. And Plus Size family, we will see you next week. Hasta la pasta.
Hasta la pasta.
Let me tell you a quick story. I was telling Kat how I was regaining weight after my 100-pound loss using GLP-1 medications, and I was having snacky cravings and waking up at 3 a.m. and I had hot flashes, and I was worried. But Kat was like, listen, I went through this last year. It's perimenopause, and I started HRT, and she used this company called Winona. So I started going there to see if this was something that was going with me. Turns out it was, because I'm 46. And it's been amazing. It's taken a while to find the right dose, but once I did, it's just been huge. I've been sleeping. I feel more myself again, and the hot flashes are gone, which is, really bad. So I will tell you, it's just been so big for me. And so I wanted to partner with them on the podcast, because obviously many of our listeners are going through this same age range and definitely are having these issues. And there's just no need for you to suffer. So if you go to the link that's in our link tree, you can click on that and save money. If you go there and you meet all the criteria, and this might be something for you to try. So I just want to make sure you had this great resource, because it's just been such a big difference for me and Kat. Again, you can go to the link in our link tree and get what you need. Today's episode is brought to you by Ro, a telehealth platform that's changing the game of GLP-1 access. What sets Ro apart? Ro understands the challenges of navigating insurance hurdles and the skyrocketing prices of GLP-1 medications. That's why they specialize in getting insurance approvals for GLP-1s. And if insurance is a barrier, they go a step further by prescribing brand name zepbound vials for prices close to those of compound GLP-1s. With Ro, you're not just getting a prescription, you're getting a partner in your journey that's helping you access affordable treatment and guiding you every step of the way. Whether it's insurance approvals or cost-effective alternatives, Ro is here to make sure that you get the medication you need. Visit ro.co/plussides with a Z today to see how they can help you take control of your weight management journey with affordable, accessible care. That's ro.co/plussides with a Z, making healthcare work for you. Check out the link in our show notes for more details. Are you interested in understanding GLP-1 medications like Ozempic, Wegovy, or Mounjaro? Then join us on the Plus Sides, Cracking the Obesity Code, the groundbreaking podcast helping people change their lives one episode at a time. The Plus Sides podcast is a disruptor. We're breaking down barriers, smashing stereotypes, and sharing inspiring stories that'll leave you feeling informed and empowered. Join us every week to learn from doctors who are specialists around GLP-1 medications like Ozempic, Wegovy, and Mounjaro. They'll provide you with science and facts to validate these incredible stories. But that's not all. We'll also bring you the voices of the GLP-1 Mounjaro TikTok community, real people who face the challenges of obesity-related diseases and disorders and discovered the incredible plus sides of GLP-1 medications. Our episodes are filled with heartwarming stories, laughter, and moments of triumph. You'll connect with our amazing community members who are reclaiming their health and experiencing their fullest lives. Are you ready to embark on a journey of discovery and empowerment? Tune in to the Plus Sides, Cracking the Obesity Code, and together we'll change the narrative around obesity and end the stigma. Subscribe now on YouTube or your favorite podcast platform and join our incredible community. Let's celebrate the plus sides of life together because every story deserves to be heard. Every life deserves to shine, and everyone deserves access to expert knowledge and medication. The Plus Sides Podcast. You're not alone. It's not your fault.